Hello and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. The Madeline Soto case has popped up, and unfortunately, she went missing on the 26th, this recent Monday. We will be, of course, dealing with true crime events, and these are my messages and opinions and foresights. And would need to be tested in a court of law. So full disclosure on what I know about the case. Of course, that young Madeline here has gone missing. The last person to see her was her, is it a stepfather or boyfriend, mother's boyfriend? And of course, the mother apparently went to pick her daughter up at the end of the day and discovered she was missing. So I watched a short 2-minute, 3-minute news clip about the situation. The interview bothered me completely. I mean, I've just acknowledged that obviously the boyfriend has just recently been arrested, and obviously there was explicit child material on his phone. So, but something struck me about that interview, and I usually don't go on that inclination, if you like. However, the mother talking pinged on me so hard. So I thought, let's just have a look here. So in orange, February the 26th, that's the Monday. Now, what alarms me, and immediately, unfortunately, I don't think this is a good ending. Okay, let me just say this up front. The numbers on the day and after are not good at all. But my immediate focus was, because it's a family situation, there is energy and a build-up to this day. And you'll note on February the 24th, February the 25th, so that of course would be over the weekend, there is a lot of eights. There are too many eights here. The Saturday, Sunday, Monday, there is a mass of eights. There is a lot of aggression going on. And for those of you, I just wanted to mention this, for those that are energy sensitive, I'm sure you will agree that the past month or so, the energy has been quite thick, intense, to use a colloquial word, a little bit strange. And of course, being an 8 year, the energy is higher. Of course, next year is the 9 year, so there is elevation. But the 8s, unfortunately, on a negative aspect, can be quite detrimental. And I believe what I'm seeing here and the impressions I'm getting is there's definitely a family issue going on here. 24/6 on the 24th. We have the 26/8. There's definitely big arguments going on here. And I'm also getting a sense that it has something to do with money. And in fact, that was one of my first impressions, that there's money involved here, some way, shape, or form. Now, the February 24th, February 25th, there are issues going on with all these eights. You'll notice on February the 25th, we have the 25/7 in combination with 27/9, 17/8. There's something, there's a discussion going on here. And again, I will also say that this came in from internal 24/6. I don't believe this was an external situation at all. In other words, let's say the boyfriend did drop her off on the side, on the corner, and she had to walk a few yards to get to school and she was kidnapped. No, this came from inside. And I believe there was pre-thought, pre-knowledge of this, which is evident on the February the 25th. And I'm going to say now, I don't believe the boyfriend acted alone. So I'm going to say, and I will tread lightly here, because we can appreciate, and this is toxic relationships. It's one of my pet peeves. And that's why I'm quite happily, please send me dates of birth or something. I'll just give you a basic breakdown. I won't even charge you for it, because there's nothing worse than toxic relationships. Now, getting back to the situation, and I will be sensitive in that if a mother or a woman is under the, let's say, locked into a relationship because of financial dependency and security, if you like, if he's paying the mortgage or the rent, and the main breadwinner, of course, we can appreciate there's compromise in some areas. But in this case, I believe the ultimate compromise was made here, in that, and this is very similar to a case here in South Africa, in Saldanha Bay, where a young 6-year-old also went missing recently. But I believe it's the same situation where the mother is dependent on the boyfriend for security and shelter. However, what I'm getting to is I believe the mother was witness to what actually happened on the Sunday. February 25 is where we have problems. With the presence of the 27-9, all the 8s, the 35-8, I believe internally in this home, there was an explosion. A violent, aggressive situation. And I believe he was out of control. In fact, I see him out of control. He's quite a big guy, tall guy. And I did get a glimpse of him in the video being walked out, having been arrested. So if we look on February the 26th, highlighted in orange, that 26-8 is already telling me a staging. The facts of the case are not true. And I'm hearing and feeling the phrase, something to the effect, I've just lost it now, I beg your pardon, is because it just confirms what I had in mind, and that is, she was moved either between Sunday and Monday. She was removed or moved away. So this is a bit of a semi-prepared, semi-raw, because obviously we need to get this out as soon as possible, and I just feel we need to. But I believe the mother in this case was privy to what happened inside the house and is knowing of what happened to her daughter in the real. So that's the impression that I got having watched that video. And that's why I put out these numbers. Now, for me, it's not that easy saying something like that, because obviously there's circumstances involved. Of course, the kid is always number one. But we must also appreciate that she could be under the threat or forceful nature of his character. But if we look on February the 26th, we got the 26-8 staging, 28-10-1 is the argument, and the 36-9, which translates also 18-9, is murder. A human has died. The number 6 with an outcome 9, 3, 6, 9. And getting to the mother is, I needed evidence apart from Madeline if I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Apart from her, I needed evidence through numerology to see, was the mother involved? And I believe there is evidence on February the 28th. So that would have been Wednesday. Again, we see that 28-10-1, the reason for what happened, there was an outburst. 28-10-1, that's an argument. It can be a physical fight as well. It starts as verbal, becomes physical with the 8. And you'll note over that weekend and Monday, we got triple 8s there. That is massive physical, human issues going on there. And also 8 represents balance, if you like, in the positive. And when you have that many 8s, there's a tip of the scale. Things are out of control. And I believe over the weekend, things got out of control. So confirming while I'm doing the reading now, not necessarily when I did the numbers, and you could see I've briefly done them, that she possibly would have already been deceased on February the 25th. And that the events that took place on February the 26th was a staging. So we'll do our normal routines. You go to work, I'll take her to, as if I take her to school, all that kind of thing. To look at, because I think this was obviously heat of the moment, there will be footprints or fingerprints digitally, as well as cameras, movement between the February the 25th and February the 26th. It's actually reminding me of the, I forget it, you know, this kind of situation where it happened the night before and then reported the next day reminds me of the Quentin Simon case. Same situation where the mother and I believe the boyfriend was involved, although he's never been, unless he has been arrested since. However, in this case, I believe the same situation happened. Something bad happened in the house over the weekend, and it had to be sorted out before Monday, or we'll report on Monday that she's actually missing. But I can just, the sense I'm getting inside that house is there's violence. Violence, the threat of violence. And unfortunately in this case, so if we look on the February the 27th, which is technically the day after of the so-called disappearance, we see the presence of 27-9, not good. 29-11-2, also not good, breaking the law due to a murder. And this is the 37-10-1 or the 19-10-1 is telling me there's money issues involved here as well. The evidence, beg your pardon, the evidence of the presence of feminine energy, which would represent her mom, is demonstrated on February the 28th with that 33. Mass feminine energy. So there's an argument, 28-10-1. Female energy under attack. Or there's an outburst from even the mother. Something went horribly wrong here. 38-11-2, breaking the law. And there was definitely a build-up to this day, February the 25th. Is when I believe Madeline may have been murdered on February the 25th as a result of a fit of rage, 26-8, February the 24th, 26-8. And that's, the outcome of February the 24th, this is the build-up to February the 26th, is that 16-7. This has been ongoing in this family, or these three people have been experiencing this issue a lot. And unfortunately, I do believe the mother knows what happened. Huh? So the question is, where is she? And I did ask that question in my preliminary look at this case. I'm definitely get a sense that there is water around. There's definitely water around. But let me just confirm something here. Let me just check something. There's definitely a good element of water around. And I'm getting a sense that it could also include mechanics. So what would that be? Water and mechanical systems, or engineering. So it could be, I mean, I don't want to speculate. But I was just trying to see where would she have been placed. Let me just see if I can pick up anything psychically. I know recent days I'm using a lot of numerology. Let me just see if I pick up something here. I'm getting a preliminary image of a rolling barrel. How do people think? Definitely getting a sense of a rolling barrel. All right, let me just see. Let's give it a bit of time if I can find her. She's at the bottom. I just had a visual at the bottom of like a riverbed or something, of a waterbed. And there would be sun now in the US. So I'm recording this at 9:56 in the evening of the 29th. And I'm seeing sunlight through water to my right-hand side. So I believe she's in water. And I'm getting a glimpse of the mother was involved. The mother was definitely involved there. So the next question is, will there be justice, and how will this case be unraveled? And I'm going to tell you now. There's going to be a confession from the mother. Let me double check that. There's definitely going to be some form of communication from the mother. The mother's going to say, and I believe it will be fairly soon, actually. Could be fairly soon, actually. The mother's going to come forward. Okay. This is a short reading, so let's see how the news unfolds. Obviously, the best case scenario is that they find Madeline alive. I hope that, but I don't believe that's going to be the case in this case. All right, let's keep an eye on the news, and hopefully the truth will come out very soon. All right, let me know what your thoughts are, and please stay safe and stay alert. I'll see you in the next one.